Go.
My name is Teddy Jacobson of Actions by T. I am a pistol smith in Sugar Land, Texas. I work on over 100 different models of handgun actions. This tape will be about the truth in buying a handgun. I am not in collusion with any company or manufacturer. My only intent is honesty and integrity. I have no agenda or ulterior motive. I'll discuss different handguns and point out the good and bad qualities that will help you in your selection process. I would like to talk about the Beretta handguns first. This is a Beretta 92F. It is an excellent self-defense weapon. It is not as accurate as a SIG or a Glock because there is no front end bushing. It is a very reliable weapon. They do come with 10-round magazines. You can still buy 15-shot pre-band magazines at this time, although they are quite expensive. These guns have a guide rod that is pinned. There's a pin that holds the head into the guide rod. On the 9mm, the two-piece guide rod will not cause you any trouble. It comes with a 13-pound recoil spring, which is very easy for women to pull the slide back. If you're going to use plus P ammo, I would suggest putting in a Wolf heavy-duty recoil spring at 16-pound rating. It will take some of the shock out of the frame. But for women, this is one of the easiest guns for a woman to pull the slide back. I do a lot of work on these guns. One of the biggest drawbacks is it's a very thick grip, and most people have trouble holding it. I have been able to cut the original plastic grips half thickness, and I cut the 4 screws down to make it ultra thin so it's easier to control and easier to hold, but they are super reliable. This Beretta is a model 96 Centurion. It is a 40 caliber, whereas the 92F is a 9mm. The 40 caliber Berettas have a lot of problems because in the two-piece guide rod that they use, as I showed you, where the head is basically has a pin that holds it onto the shaft, it breaks. So I tell my customers in the 96, what they have to do is take their original guide rod to a local machine shop and have a one-piece guide rod made that will not break. There is no pin on this rod. This is one-piece stainless steel. That's one of the drawbacks of the 96. The 40 caliber is very brutal on this particular gun. You will find that the trigger spring breaks too. Walter Wolf has come out with a newly designed trigger return spring assembly. It is a big improvement over the original design. This gun comes with a 14-pound recoil spring. The first thing you should do is to replace that 14-pound recoil spring with an 18-pound recoil spring to take some of the shock out of the frame. The Centurion is about 3/4 of an inch shorter than the full-size Beretta. Therefore, there is less front end play. There is no bushing in the front here. The barrel locks up in the rear. So therefore, it's not quite as accurate as some of the other brands of weapons, but it's still a super reliable gun. Many of the parts seem to be breaking down on this model 96. around 5,000 rounds. But it's still a superb weapon, and if you'll do what I say, it will last a long time. These grips have been cut. These are the original black plastic grips. They had the emblem on it, they had the checkering. That's all been hand shaved off, and the 4 screws have been cut down so you can better hold and control the weapon. I do recommend these guns, although the .40 is somewhat of a problem. This is a Beretta Brigadier. This is their stainless 9mm, the 92 version. It's got a heavier slide, and the front sight is removable, whereas on the other Berettas, the front sight is part of the slide. You cannot change this front sight. If you wanted to put in a night sight, you have to have a hole drilled and a tritium insert installed. So not many people can do that because they don't sell the inserts. The Brigadier, the fact that this is a stainless gun, it's very deceiving because the internal parts are either nickel plated, carbon steel, and the external parts, even though they look like they're stainless steel, are chrome plated. This is not a truly stainless gun. The hammer, even though it looks stainless, it's not stainless steel. This slide stop, it looks stainless. I believe it's all carbon steel with chrome plated parts. All of these accessories, including the mag release button, the trigger, it's all carbon steel. I've yet to see a fully stainless Beretta. Although this one had some serious problems because of the increased tolerances caused by the chrome plating. Again, this is not as accurate as some of the other guns because there is no front end bushing. This only locks up in the rear. Front end floats. It's never tied down to the original lockup. It's a super reliable gun. This is a Beretta Cougar. A Beretta Cougar is excellent in the 9mm and .40 caliber. I cannot recommend the Cougar in .45 ACP because the chamber wall is too thin. You would not get much velocity in a short barrel like this with a heavy bullet. You would have to make sure you use a bullet that the powder was a fast burning powder, otherwise all your powder would be burning outside the barrel. On this particular gun, they all come with 10-shot magazines. ProMag of California made some legal 15-shot magazines in the 9mm, and they are for sale. There are still plenty of them on the market, and I believe you can buy them from CDNN in Abilene, Texas. But 15-shot mags are available for this Cougar in 9mm, even though I don't believe anybody else has made any before the ban was determined. As far as a carry gun, this is still too big and too heavy to carry. This is my particular Cougar. It's 9mm, and I baked a moly coating on the barrel because it's got a rotating barrel system, and I don't have to worry about lubricating the barrel because it rotates. It's got a permanently baked finish on it. It's a very good gun. I cannot recommend the small Berettas in 22, 25, or 32 caliber. They are poor quality, and for instance, the Tomcat, I think that the shelf life is relatively short on the life expectancy of the gun. It's a very poorly made gun. I cannot recommend it. As far as the Beretta 380 in the model 84,